Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Try it with me. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat. If you're in preschool, you definitely know this. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. How fun to open on this evening when we're celebrating Rabbi Bellows and saying thank you to begin with his song, Shabbat Shabbat, which he brought to us when he came, and it's now become a regular in our preschool Shabbat, and I think we'll keep singing it because, as you heard, it's really jazzy and really catchy. So as we welcome Shabbat, if you are joining us from home, we invite you to get your candlesticks, to grab your wine, and hopefully before she runs out, Lila, Jojo, and Max, I'd like to invite the three of you to help me with the candles and Kiddush. Come stand here. You could help me? Here. Put your hand on my arm, because this one's a little weird. Okay, good job. All right, as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. And we join together in our blessings as we welcome in the light and the warmth and the peace of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
I'll try not to be too long, and it's okay if anyone cries. I might. Our tradition says, make for yourself a Rav, a teacher. Acquire for yourself a friend. So, make for yourself a Rav, acquire for yourself a friend. So one must take an active role in finding ways to learn from their teacher. You have to create your teacher, create your Rav. It doesn't just tell us to sign up for a class, although I appreciate those of you who have taken classes with me. But we must make ourselves a rabbi. We can acquire friends along the way, along this journey of life. And these past years, I've tried my best to learn from each of our wonderful clergy and to connect with each of you. And when I first arrived, I'd only been ordained as a rabbi for a month. I think less than a month. I didn't yet know what I didn't yet know. I had no idea the moments I'd share, the lessons I'd learn, the friends I'd enjoy. Now, sure, I knew a lot of information that one needs to be an educated Jew and a scholarly rabbi, but there's no real way to teach how to be an effective rabbi. The only way to learn is to just jump in. Most of you first met me probably, or at least you first got to know me at High Holy Days 2018. You might remember I was the rabbi that held up a book and read from a book at Yom Kippur. It was a Mo Willems book. Do you remember this? Called We Are in a Book, in which the two main characters, Gerald and Piggy, they have an existential crisis as they realize that they will cease to exist at the end of the book. It's deep, and it affected me. And it affected me especially greatly when I was reading it to my kids at night, and I knew I had to bring it in here, and I needed to share it with all of you. And at that time, someone offered me advice. I don't remember who it was. If it was you, come up to me after and tell me. But they said, don't show them your best cards right off the bat. Apparently, I did a good job with that sermon. They said, don't show them all your best cards right off the bat. Otherwise, you'll have little to offer later on. And I wondered, had I peaked with the Mo Willems book? Was I just going to coast from here on in for the next years? So really, the only reason that you might like what I do is because ever since then, I've been trying to top that first sermon that I did. I strove over these past 4 years to bring myself into my rabbinate, to bring myself to my rabbinate. I strove to meet the congregants where all of you were, offering what all of you needed. I strove to push the limits of what the congregation wanted so as to introduce something new. I strove to comfort the shaken and to shake up the comfortable. I didn't do it alone. I had the amazing leadership and mentorship of the United Hebrew Clergy team. When I first met Rabbi Kaplansky, our Rabbi Emeritus, he gave me the greatest advice I had heard. Don't wear brown shoes on the bima. That's the first thing he said to me. Now, Rabbi Rosenberg has let me just kind of fall upon these shoes because, I hurt my leg a while ago and these are really comfy. But he said, don't wear the brown shoes, and I haven't since that day. I haven't worn brown shoes. These are more grayish. But I understood the subtext of his words. Present yourself as the congregation needs you to be. Present yourself as the congregation needs you to be. Throughout his rabbinate, Rabbi Kaplansky's rabbinate, brown shoes indicated, perhaps, a lack of sophistication or a lack of fashion sechel, and he wanted me to present the best self I can be. So I say thank you to Rabbi Kaplansky for that advice that's stuck with me all these years. Then I met our beloved Cantor Emeritus, Cantor Hochberg. From day one, he demonstrated to me his love and passion for Jewish music. He taught me not to sing quietly, but rather to add holiness to a service through adding melody and harmony. Coming from a background filled with Jewish music, Cantor Hochberg's dedication to his craft reminded me to try to perfect that for which I am passionate. Now, nothing could have prepared me for the paradigm shift that was my first meeting with Cantor Eicher. And I think Rabbi Rosenberg dropped me off there, right, in his office. I think you dropped me off and was like, good luck. Within 2 minutes, we appreciated each other's talent. I think. I appreciated his. And we both realized that we were former Olympic javelin throwers. I'm kidding. I'm not, but he is. Cantor Eicher has always reminded me to hold myself accountable. The amount of raw passion that pours forth from him could fill a fiery volcano. And he's inspired me to chase and grow my own musicality and never to compromise who I am. So I say thank you. I say thank you to Cantor Hochberg, too. I think I forgot that, but thank you. Finally, there's my mentor and colleague, Rabbi Rosenberg. I knew we had a connection when I first visited for my in-person interview, and we sat and talked about a real-world situation that challenged her as a rabbi. I immediately sensed her attention to details that I myself had never really tapped into. And Rabbi Rosenberg has challenged me over these past 4 years to grow as a rabbi and as a leader. She's inspired me both directly and indirectly. And she's helped me understand that if I have something to say, I need to ensure people are ready to listen. Through Rabbi Rosenberg's mentorship, my rabbinate has become more refined. I've learned how to use my talents and passions more effectively. By observing her interaction with the congregation, I haven't mastered, but I've learned more how to manage a sacred community. Could I have handled the position I'm beginning in July if I had not had this position? Sure. Would I have brought them the best rabbi I can be? Certainly not. My position here as assistant rabbi has transformed me into something and someone new. And so for that, I say thank you. None of it would have been possible, though, without my wife, Melissa. I can honestly say that I would not be here on this bima tonight without Melissa in my life. And this is the time that JoJo should just go play so Mommy can pay attention. We were set up by a mutual friend many years ago who noticed we were both, quote, artsy and weird. And enough said. Academically, I was stuck at that time, though I knew I wanted to be a rabbi. And Melissa helped and guided me back into school, where I found my first academic success in life, having lived with undiagnosed ADHD most of it. I remember Melissa walking me through how to use an assignment book in my 20s, asking me, how have you made it this far not knowing this? Well, not all too well, as it would seem. But it got better. I thrived in school, finally, when I got back into school, and I knew I still wanted to go to rabbinical school. The only problem was I needed to spend my first year of rabbinical school in Israel. And so I let her know how much our relationship meant to me. And I asked her, I let her know that I was going to be spending a year in Israel, and I asked her if she wanted to come with me when that happened. And her answer was, I would, if you put a ring on it. So I did. And for many other reasons too. Throughout the 5 years of rabbinical school and the 4 years at United Hebrew, Melissa has sacrificed so much. And yet somehow we've received 3 beautiful, miraculous children since our year in Israel. And we just got to meet our new baby niece, who's the little baby that you hear crying. Melissa's more than just a strong mother. She's a dedicated teacher, educator, and Jew. And most of all, you may not know this, but it can be emotionally and spiritually trying to be a rabbi. I don't know if you know that. You may think that it's just sitting in my rabbi office, drinking Shirley Temples and laughing and announcing to an empty room, it's good to be a rabbi. But it's actually a lot more than that. And Melissa has been my rock. She's been my ear. She's been my biggest fan. She's been my harshest critic. Quite literally, I would not be here on this bema without her. She's my dearest, closest friend that I've acquired through this journey. And she is my most trusted rabbi as well. And of course, I would literally not be on this earth without my parents. I've been blessed with parents for whom Judaism was a priority. My father instilled in me the love for the Jewish people and the value of being a mensch, a good person. As a kid, I still remember my dad and my brother, Ricky, who's in the room right now. You can see him, he looks like me. He'll remember this, that as a kid, I still remember my dad taking a thankful sigh at Shabbat dinner, and saying, Shabbat always comes at the right time. And he's right. He taught me to appreciate Shabbat and to embrace it as a special, holy respite in time. And my mom of blessed memory. There's so much of my mom in my rabbinate that each of you actually knows her a lot more than you know. My rabbinate has become and will continue to be a testament to her as a person, as a cantor, as a Jew. Each Shabbat when I'm up here on the bema, she's with me. In fact, she is Shabbat to me. She was a cantor most of my life, so going to Shabbat meant hearing my mother singing all the prayers. And her voice still echoes in my head as I deliver words and music to you from where I stand. And I also wouldn't be here without all of you. You may think I don't know you. This may even be literally the first time you've ever stepped foot in this building this evening, but I still know you. And I truly love each and every one of you. I really do. I can't possibly express my gratitude for all the special moments, conversations, and even arguments that we've shared. I can't begin to concretize the impact each of you has made on my life. I'll carry each one of you in my heart as I move on from this sacred community. In his book entitled Relational Judaism, Dr. Ron Wolfson writes, one of the greatest compliments a rabbi and cantor can hear is, she is my rabbi, or he is my cantor. She is my rabbi, or he is my cantor. I've only ever wanted to be your rabbi, or your cantor, but I'm not ordained as a cantor. I've only ever wanted to be that person to help to bring you God and Torah. I've only ever wanted to provide a holy, divine service so that each of you can walk through life in light and peace. About life, about this life, about this world. We're living in a difficult, dark time. This past week brought us such senseless violence and unimaginable pain. I'm not sure I can offer any of my own words of comfort. But I do know this. Thoughts and prayers will never be enough to change the world. Only action can. If there's one piece of Torah, if there's one piece of my teaching, of my message that I can leave you all with, it's this. Only together can we create peace, and only through action can peace be achieved. I hope and pray that United Hebrew continues to strive to be a beacon of hope and justice by taking action necessary to create change. I hope and pray that when people hear our name, they think, Oh, yes, they're making a difference. I hope and pray that very soon the prophet Elijah himself shows up and arrives and tells us, job well done, you guys. We did it. We achieved peace. My work here at United Hebrew these past years has been the continuation of the work done by United Hebrew's past and current rabbis. I've been standing on the shoulders of great giants and great leaders who have striven for the greater good, as I have. The greater good for the Jewish people and for the world. And by following in their footsteps, I and we can indeed make a difference. Thank you for praying with me. Thank you for singing with me. Thank you for laughing with me. Thank you for doubting me. Thank you for testing me. Thank you for challenging me. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for crying with me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shabbat shalom.
I'm going to invite Cantor Hochberg and Rabbi Kaplansky to the bima. Rabbi Kaplansky, if you will come forward. I'm going to have everybody stay standing. Fantastic. We can, you know what? We can come down. We can come down. Or not. I'm going to have all of you stay standing because one of the things that we sometimes do at a bar bat mitzvah ceremony is that when we are blessing the student, we recognize, I'm going to have you face everybody though, but you'll come in the middle. But we have everybody stand up and reach their hands toward the student. And tonight we are reaching our hands toward our rabbi. And we are blessing Rabbi Bellows as we thank him for the joy, the wisdom, the passion, the music, the fun, for all that he has brought to our lives for the past 4 years. And so we are a part of sending our blessings and our strength to him in the hopes that he will take everything from our congregation and add that to his rabbinate as he moves forward to now lead his own congregation, infusing it with himself and infusing it perhaps with a little bit of United Hebrew. And we do so now as we offer the words of the priestly benediction.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom. May God lift up the divine countenance to you and grant you that most perfect and precious of all blessings in your rabbinate, the blessing of true peace and satisfaction from your work, from who you are and who you will become.
And to that, we all say, Amen. Amen. And we say, Todah Rabbah. You may be seated.
What happened?
Did I? No.
Okay, I go.
And we're now going to prepare to welcome in the Shabbat bride with Lecha Dodi on page 130. 138 and 139.
Lecha dodi li kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha dodi li kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Shemor v'zchor b'ribur echad, Mekor Aberacha Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad V'Shemo Tiferet V'Ritila Adonai Likratala B'nei Shabbat Nekavela Adonai Likratala Shabbat nekabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Im makor haveracha, Merosh mikedem nesuchal, Ma'aseh b'machshavat tila, Lechadodi likrat kala. Shabbat nekavela, Echad odi likrakala, B'nei Shabbat nekavela. V'ri v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, Toch emuneh am Segula, Boichala, face the front of the ark. Lechadodi likakala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likakala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Adoni nikrakala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Adoni nikrakala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Remain standing as we turn to page 146 for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach
Page 152 with Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Va'ed.
And as we are seated, we turn to the words of Ve'ahavta as we join together with Cantor Eicher.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך וברכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך והיו לדוד אבות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And on page 158, we turn to Micha Mocha.
מי כמוך פועלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך פועלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא דהירו עושי פלא מי כמוך פועלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש מי כמוך פועלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא דהירו עושי פלא מלכותך ראו בניך חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה אלי ענו ועמדו אדוני טוב לעולם ועד מי כמוך פועלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש מי כמוך פועלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא דהירו עושי פלא ונאמר כפלת אדוני את יעקב וכיעלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני בעל ישראל מי כמוך פועלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש מי כמוך פועלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש.
And we turn to page 160 for Hashkivenu.
This is another original that I've played here a few times. Honored to have brought it here. Grant, O God, that we, like lie down in peace, raise us up, our guardian to life, renewed, hashkivenu leshalom, lehamidenu lechaim, hashkivenu leshalom, lehamidenu lechaim. Grant, oh God, that we lie down in peace, raise us up, our guardian to life, renewed, hashkivenu leshalom, vehamidenu lechaim, hashkivenu leshalom, vehamidenu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukkah shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
We continue now on page 164 as we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Agadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chaste Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, page 168, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mohorid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Zomech nofrim ve'rofech orim, Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato rishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. Page 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. And a prayer for our country, based on the one found in our prayer book, but slightly amended after a clergy meeting and discussion this week. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of our children and alert to the care of the earth and all its living things. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died by coming together in their names to envision a better world. Grant our leaders untethered wisdom and a unified forbearance. May they govern with blind justice and compassion for all. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you and all living things. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. And we turn in our prayer books to page 371 as we turn our hearts and our prayers to those who are in need of healing. And if you are thinking of someone at this time who is in need of healing and comfortable, I ask that those who are comfortable will rise together and we'll call all of the names of those who we are thinking of together as one. You may stand and recite those names at this time. And certainly on this Shabbat, we think of the families and the friends of the community in Uvalde, Texas. And though no funerals have happened yet, we remember and call these names on behalf of their families in need of healing. Alexandria Ania Rubio, Alithia Ramirez, Amory Joe Garza, Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez, Elijana Cruz Torres, Eliana Eli Garcia, Eva Moreles, Irma Garcias, Jackie Cazares, Jaila Nicole Silguero, Jace Luevanos, Jose Flores, Leila Salazar, McKenna Lee Elrod, Mati Rodriguez, Miranda Mathis, Nevea Bravo, Rogelio Torres, Tess Marie Mata, Uzia Garcia, Xavier Lopez. May God swiftly send a complete renewal of body and spirit to all who are in need of healing, as together we join in singing Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing,
take a moment for silent and personal prayer.
Another original I've been honored to bring here. Oh, say shalom. Shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu. Al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom. Shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Cheryl Bauer. I'm president of the United Hebrew Congregation. Before I get to this week's announcements, I would like to give a special thank you to Rabbi Bellows. Rabbi, you have been such an important part of our UH family for 4 years, and we will miss you, Melissa, and the kids. You had only been here a couple of months when you were invited to officiate at your first wedding. That was the marriage of my daughter and son-in-law. You clearly did an awesome job because they are still very happily married. Over the years, you have brought spiritual guidance, education, music, and laughter to all demographics at UH. I have seen you be serious when presenting a sermon or Torah lesson and silly when singing and dancing with the preschoolers. You are even leaving with a bang, or should I say, a pie in the face, next weekend at our Shavuot celebration. On behalf of the UH board and congregation, we wish you great success as you begin a new chapter as rabbi at Temple Israel in West Lafayette, Indiana. Mazel tov to you, and thank you for all you've done for us. And now for this week's announcements. Tomorrow at UH, we have Torah study at 9 a.m., and that's in the library or via Zoom. We have the Shabbat morning service and bar mitzvah of Chase Pines at 10:30, and that will be on live stream as well. Also, tomorrow is Sifarot Singing Bowls Meditation with Marita Shaw at 2 p.m., and that's in person in the Kaplansky Center. Pirkei Avot is with Cantor Eicher at 3:30, and that is in the library or on Zoom. And then we close the day tomorrow at 6 p.m. as we usher out Shabbat with our Next Week Now, which is via live stream. Other upcoming events, we have Pride Shabbat next Friday night on June 3rd, and that's at 6 o'clock. And then next Sunday on June 5th at 12:30 in the chapel will be a discussion with Yaha Mahamid, and the subject is A Young Man's Journey to Peace. Also next weekend, we have Shavuot events. Tikkun Leil Shavuot is Saturday, June 4th, and that's from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That will include some text study with our clergy as well as our Shavuot service. Then on Sunday, June 5th, we have our Shavuot hike at Queenie Park, and that's at 10 a.m. Following that, also next Sunday at 2 o'clock, will be our Shavuot Scoop and Pie the Rabbi. We don't want to miss that. You even have an opportunity to shave his beard. That will be here at UH next Sunday at 2 o'clock in our UH parking lot. Then on June 17th, we'll have our Juneteenth Shabbat, also at 6 o'clock, and again, that's on June 17th. I know I've rattled off a lot of dates and times, so please look at our UH website for additional information. You'll also find additional information about upcoming classes also on our website, so please take a look out there. We have a special dessert oneg after the service that I hope you all will join us as we congratulate Rabbi Bellows. And I'd like to thank the bakers for this celebration that includes Sherilyn Krell, Judy Babbitts, Elaine Spielberg, Gail Kramer, Fran Kunitz, Carolyn Satz, Gloria Rubin, Patty Hunt, Fran Balk, and Eva Eschner, as well as an anonymous person who made a simcha cake. Thank you to our tech team for making it possible for all of us to be together this evening for Shabbat, and our gift shop is open by appointment only. Shabbat Shalom.
And before Cheryl leaves, we have some gifts to present to Rabbi Bellows from our congregation. You can open them afterwards and then show people, but these two pieces of art, I'll just tell you what they are, they're art, and then you'll see them, but these two, don't shake them, these two pieces of art are for your rabbinic study. After conversation with Melissa, we thought artwork was going to be a wonderful thing. And I will say that all of the staff had a hand in picking these out. And don't make a face. We were looking for what it is appropriate, what we thought would be. We were looking at what we thought would really portray you and your rabbinate in terms of how we have gotten to know you and seen you grow over these 4 years. And we hope that when you look at this artwork, you will think of United Hebrew, that you'll think of all of the congregants, you'll think of the staff, and lovingly remember your time here. So you can open them up a little later, and then you can share them with people. Thank you, Cheryl. And then before you sit down, Rabbi Bellows, I am going to invite, because I think he's still in the congregation, I'm going to invite Ro'i Mast to the bima. And I believe many people know Ro'i. Ro'i is our Shin Shin. He has been here on his year of service, and this is he's been finished with us, but even today I noticed his desk was cleared off. So, he has officially moved out, and he is preparing to go and spend the summer at Gucci, at Goldman Union Camp Institute. And this is our opportunity to bestow a blessing upon you on behalf of our congregation. So we'll invite you to the Ark, and also to present you with a gift from our congregation, a gift that very literally will help you always remember this spot. It reminds you of home and the coordinates that you will always need to know exactly where your home is. And so on behalf of all of us, we are honored to bestow this blessing upon you as you, yes, prepare to be a counselor this summer, but even more importantly, as you look ahead to this fall when you return home and you will enter into the army and you will be there to help defend not only our people but our homeland. And for that, we offer this blessing.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you, and don't go away.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may the presence of God always surround you. And may the presence of God in your life bring to you the gifts of shalom, of peace, and shalem, of wholeness. And to that we all say, Amen. And Todah Rabbah to you as well. Thank you. And I'm going to ask everyone to please rise as we begin to conclude our service. We do so first with the counting of the Omer on page 570. So we say the blessing, and that is only if you have the large prayer books. If you have the small prayer books, I'm told you won't find page 570. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer.
Amen.
And our praise to God who hallows us with the mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom shnayim va'arba'im yom shehem shisha shavuot la'omer. Today is 42 days, which is 6 weeks of the Omer. And we continue now on page 586 as we remain standing for Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. And we turn to page 595. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. This Shabbat, we are in the period of Shloshim for Philip Altman, Oro Duhov, Shepard Ellis, Gerald Friedman, Dorothy Mayer, Janice Goldenberg-Mintz, Jordan Rudolph. This week, this Shabbat, we observe the yahrzeits and we lovingly remember Ben Alper, Minnie M. Aronson, Abe Baker, Mark H. Beldner, Rebecca Beldner, Sam Bernstein, Ida Bernstein, Henry J. Bly, Bess Broder, Sarah Castor, Joanne Cellist, Dr. Robert B. Deichman, Maury Dreyfus, Sarah Gertrude Edwards, Jacob L. Ellman, Lois Dvorkin Epstein, Carrie W. Ettinger, Ruth Ettlinger, Sylvia W. Feldman, Gertrude Carnegie Fitter, Bess Fox, Lily Gast, Joel Ginsberg, Charles I. Glazer, Gertrude Goldblum, William Goldenberg, Dave Goodman, Shirley Ozerski Gordon, Dorothy Grolnick, Dora E. Grolman, Sylvester Grossberg, Isidore Hirschenhorn, Charles Hyman, Emmanuel Jackaway, Edwin A. Joseph, Albert Carney, Harold Katz, Eleanor Rubin Keene, Isidore N. Kessler, Frida Klein, Joyce Gorman Lang, Morris Marglis, Irma D. Mathis, Julia Geiger Mathis, Rose C. Mendelson, Ann Myers, Clara Mayer Merstein, Alfred J. Newman, Jack Neiman, Harry Orenstein, Molly Perlstein, Janet Alper Perlstein, Sam Rowe, Isidore Bud Rosen, Patricia Rosen, Grace Gray Rosenblum, Morris S. Rosenthal, Betty Roth, Simon Rothgeiser, Dorothy Roven, Sam J. Sikowski, Jenny Sherbel, Ben Schwartz, Emmanuel I. Schwartz, Charles C. Siegel, Henry Seltzer, Henry Cecil, Frances Marie Siegel, Bernard M. Stern, Stephen Michael Thompson, Burton M. Winokur, Carol Winsky, Michael A. Winthrop, Harry L. Yawitz. Zichronam livracha, may each of their memories be for blessing. As we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598, and we rise. Yit Gadal ve'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialmad Divra Chirute V'yamlich Malchute, B'chayechon Uvyomechon, Uv'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Volmei Almaya. Yit Barach Ve'yish Tabach Ve'yit Pa'ar Ve'yit Romam Ve'yit Naseh Ve'yit Hadar Ve'yit Alev Ve'yit Halal Shemei Dekudashar Barichu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechamata Damiram Be'alma Ve'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. And we turn in our prayer books to page 649. And we'll join together in Tefillat Haderech. Yes, it is an evening of saying thank you, an evening of sort of saying goodbye, but we're not yet saying goodbye. There is still time. And yet it is also Memorial Day weekend, and this is a weekend of transition as we begin to transition toward the summer, and hopefully many of us may have some exciting journeys or projects or things that we will do over the summer. So this is a blessing for all of us, Tefillat Haderech.
You be blessed as you go on your way. May you be guided in peace. May you be blessed with health and joy. May this be a blessing. Amen. May you be sheltered by the wings of peace. May you be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way into your soul. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. Amen. May this be our blessing. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.